Hi, hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Veronica and I'm a big lover of makeup, so if you want to see more reviews, looks and more fun videos, don't forget to subscribe. Into this video, I am beyond excited because we are gonna film the favorites for 2022, so if you're curious about that, please keep on watching. Okay, so it took me 2 minutes of the video just to arrange my shirt, so that's the reason I usually just have a normal sweater on and I just don't care. But today I was too excited. I really want to film this video. I am very happy with all the products. I have just a bunch of products in front of me. This year was crazy and it's almost done. It flew by, and let's talk about the makeup. And we're gonna talk about some hair stuff as well, some perfumes and some candles, but I'm gonna leave that at the end. And let's start with the base products because I do have a bunch of products, so this video will be a pain to edit, but let's just start. And as well, I want to mention that I didn't film this makeup, but I will list down below, as always, everything that I have on my face. And I do have some of these products on my face, so I will mention that as well. But let's start with primer, and for primer I need to mention again the Severe Blur Sun Secure SPF. So this is an SPF 50 plus. This is my favorite SPF. I really like it. It is blurring, but it is very comfortable on the skin. It's not greasy or something like that. It is like a pore filling primer, something like that, and it's an SPF, so bonus points for that. So I decided just to mention this one as well. I could just mention something glowy as well, but this year I discovered that I like mixing these glowy primers into my foundation. So for that particular usage, I could just use the Rare Beauty one. I do have this one in here because I repurchased it very recently, and that one was in the favorites last year. But this year I tested the Tilbury one as well, and that one is great. I remember liking the Viv one as well, so I think all of them are really good, so I do recommend all of these three. So I don't think one of them is my favorite, so for that reason I'm gonna mention just this one for a favorite. Next we have foundation, and for that I do have the Catrice True Skin as a favorite. This is a hydrating one, but in my eyes is more like a natural finish, and I have the shade number 4 Neutral Porcelain. This is a really nice shade for me. I actually have it on my skin today. It is very beautiful. I do like it, and it is from the drugstore, which is amazing, and I really like it. So this I discovered this year. But as well I need to mention again the Born to Glow. This is the NYX one, and I have the shade Vanilla. This is so beautiful. I just can't not mention it because this was last year's favorite as well. Some of these products I did discover this year, but some of them are just favorites from previous years because I just love it. I love it. And NYX will release very soon a new foundation. Is more like a skin tint, even though they said like skin tint but medium coverage or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly, which is not which is a bit contradictory. But anyway, I'm gonna test that foundation. I am very curious because this foundation is amazing. NYX is doing in general very good makeup. Sometimes they are missing the mark just by a little, but in general the makeup, it is really good, and that foundation is so glowy, so yummy. I just need to mention it. For foundation I want to mention a brush as well. This is the Sigma Multitasker, the F47. This is a really good foundation brush, and I want to mention my sponge as well. This is the Moop sponge. I just love it. I have like 10 others as backups because it is so good. I don't want to test other sponges because this one is perfection. And this brush is so amazing. In general, I prefer a sponge for foundation and concealer just because it is easier and you get in general more coverage with a brush. So usually I like more like a low medium coverage foundation, so the sponge is perfect for me. But when I want a brush and more coverage, this one is so great, so I really want to mention it as well. Let's move into concealer, and for that I have two to mention as well. The Catrice one from the same line as the foundation, the True Skin line. I do have the shade number 2, Neutral Ivory. This shade is finally a good shade for me. This is my third of these. I bought two shades that were not for me, and then this one, finally, it is my shade. So that shows how amazing this concealer is, because I bought it 3 times just to get my perfect shade, which is not ideal, of course. This is from the drugstore, so that was not that expensive, but still, drugstore needs just to step it up a bit and have a more good description of shades and more shades to choose from. But this shade is very good, and this concealer is amazing as well. It's like a medium to high coverage. You can build it up, but of course I don't do that in general. I just apply a pretty small amount, but it is so beautiful. I really like it, and it is very similar to the it's not Born to Glow, it's Born This Way from Too Faced. This is the shade Snow. This is just a tiny bit too light for me right now. I don't know why, because this was my perfect shade in previous years, but anyway, I did repurchase this one. It is the favorite from last year. I bought the mini just because I don't need a lot of quantity in concealer, and this in a fuller size has too much product, really. Is too much in there. So anyway, this is a really beautiful concealer. I do love it. I find these two pretty similar. I don't want to call them dupes because I didn't test them in that way, but they are just so beautiful. And this year I want to mention a corrector as well. This is from Sigma. I do have this under my eyes, and I have a bit of this one on top, but let me show you. I hope you can see, because the packaging is pretty shiny and the product is very shiny, but I have pen in both of these shades. And I bought this one in like, I don't know, July, something like that. This was released this year, and it is so creamy, so good. You can just blend it out with your finger if you want. And this packaging is so stunning, so small, and maybe you don't get a lot of product in here. You get 1.52 grams, and that is 0.05 fluid ounces, but it is so good, and I love this packaging. I love the shades. This is the light to medium one. Sigma is doing some really nice products. This is very good. I do recommend it. It is stunning. Let's move into the powder category, and here I have 2. One is pressed and one is loose. I think I mentioned both of these last year as well, if I can remember correctly. They are amazing. This is the NYX HD finishing powder, and I have the shade Banana. I had this one in a mini and I did repurchase it, and this is the Huda. This is the shade Sugar Cookie, and it is the Easy Bake Loose Baking powder. I had just a small period of time where I used only a pressed powder, but now I am always using loose powder on my T-zone, and this pressed powder just to blend the edges, or if I'm doing touch-ups or something like that, I'm gonna use a pressed powder, but for setting I'm always gonna use a loose powder, and this one is so good. I'm gonna repurchase this one when I'm out because it is so beautiful. I tested this year some powders, but none of them were impressing me, so these two are still favorites. But this year I discovered a great powder brush, and this one is from Nabla. It is the Precision Powder brush, and it looks like this. If you are applying pressed powder under your eyes, this brush is made for you. It is so great. I'm not doing that. I did that for a while, but now I'm applying my loose powder with a sponge. But this one, to blend the edges in here, like this, or for touch-ups, this is great. I adore it. It is very good quality. Let's move into bronzer. And this year I discovered two amazing cream formulas, and I want to mention them both. Right now I do prefer cream bronzers over powder bronzers, which is very interesting. And I think both of these formulas did release this year, or maybe the Rare Beauty was released at the end of last year. I can't remember, but anyway, this bronzer, I am wearing it today. It is so natural, so beautiful. It is so easy to blend. You can just apply it and go into the kitchen and make yourself a cup of coffee and come back, blend it out. It will be totally fine. Very easy to blend. It is so nice. I do have the shade Power Boost. I think this one is the lightest shade. It is so good. And this one as well, from the drugstore. It is amazing. I think both of these went viral, but for good reasons. This is the Revolution Ultra Cream bronzer, and I have the shade Light, so again, the lightest shade. Again, very easy to blend out, very natural, a really nice color. These both bronzers are top-notch, really good quality. This is from the drugstore, so if you don't want to splurge on bronzer, this is an amazing one. I really like it. Next, we have blush, and I do have two formulas to mention, and I am wearing both of them on my cheeks. And look at this cheek. It's so yummy. First one, I think I mentioned it last year as well, and it is the Fenty Cream Blush. But right now I do have a second shade, and it is so beautiful. I do have the shade Rosé, I think it's Rosé Latte. It's so beautiful. I am wearing this one on my cheeks today. And the first one that I purchased is the shade Petal Poppin, and it is this very, very stunning pink. It is kind of similar to my shirt. It's so yummy. Again, very easy to blend out, very creamy. You can apply it with a brush, with a sponge, with your finger. Stunning. And on top of that, I have the Pixi Vitamin C. This is the shade Peach Dew. Sadly, this one broke on me, so I did press it back together, but it is crumbling a bit. A very sad story, but look at this glow. I do have highlighter on, but in here, as you can see, I still have some sheen. And in here as well, I do have a bit of blush, and I don't have highlighter in here. And I just have some luminosity. It's so beautiful. And this one, on top of this one, it will stay the whole day, the whole night, next morning if you want. Please don't do that. Don't sleep with your makeup on, but this will last on your cheeks until you just remove your makeup. But this combo is so beautiful. And for highlighter, I do have only one to mention. It is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light one. I do have the shade Spotlight, and that's the reason my cheeks are impressively glowy today. I really like this highlighter. You can apply just a tiny bit of product and you will get a more natural effect, or you can apply a bit more and get something like this. It's so good. And I just blend it with my finger. I think that is the best way to blend this one out. It's so easy to blend. Very, very stunning. And I want to mention a brush, even though, like I said, I am blending this one with my finger. It is the best way to blend it. But this brush is so good, so I want to mention it, even though I'm using this one for powder highlighter. But this is the highlighter brush from Nabla as well. The brush is so flimsy in a good way that it will apply highlighter very beautifully. You can just pack it on or just apply very loose with a bit of product and get a more natural effect. This brush is so good. I really want to mention it as well. Next, let's talk about brows, and I have only 2 products to mention. I will film a brow tutorial in January just because I am so happy with my brows. They are fluffy but still natural, and I am very confident in my brows, so I am very happy. The NYX eyebrow pencil, it will be my favorite in the next years probably as well. It's just so easy to use. It is a nice shade. I have the shade Taupe here because my hair is on the blonder side right now. This shade is very nice, and it's just so easy. It is from the drugstore and I just love it. I do have a backup of this one, of course, is really nice. And then I discovered this year a very good brow gel. And I did test some brow gels this year. I tested the Patrick Thai, I tested one from Got To Be, I tested one from NYX, or maybe even 2 from NYX. What else? I did test some brow gels this year, but this one is for sure my favorite. This is the Too Faced Fluff and Hold Laminating Brow Wax. You will apply your brow gel. As you can see, my brows are pretty fluffy, but not very fluffy because I don't like that. But they will stay like this until I'm taking my makeup off. They will hold with this one. I really like it. It is very nice, very easy to apply. This brush is amazing. The product is amazing. I repurchased this one as a bonus information. I already have a backup. These 2 are really nice. Next, I discovered this year a favorite eye primer as well. This is the Sigma eyeshadow primer. This is the best. I really want in the next year to find new favorites in some categories, but in some categories I don't. I am not interested in testing eye primers next year. This one is too good. And this year I bought the Juvia's Place one as well. I prefer this one over that. I prefer this one over the Natasha Denona one. I prefer this one over the P. Louise one, or the MAC one, or the NYX one, or this is the best one. Let's talk about mascaras as well. This was the last year's favorite as well. This is an amazing volumizing mascara. That is what I like. I prefer a volumizing mascara over a lengthening one. And in the last year's favorites, I did mention the Essence Lash Princess, but this year I discovered this one in the pink tube. This is the Curl and Volume one. This is my favorite one from the bunch. If we are in the chapter of lashes, let's talk about false eyelashes as well. This year I wore a lot of times false lashes. I really love them. They are a new favorite as well. And my favorite brand of lashes, I think it is probably Sosu by Saint Jackson. I do have these ones on my lashes today. These are the style Indulge, and I broke the packaging. That's the reason I don't have it. It was very hard to open, so I was like a child and just destroyed it. I do have one in the package as well. I didn't use these ones, but this is a repurchase. These are from the Daydream collection, and these are my favorite lashes. Style, brand, everything. I love these ones. The other ones that I had them for a year. I think I used them like 50 times or something like that, and they were still usable. Great quality. Another brand for lashes, Ardell, is just very affordable and still very good quality. I do have in here the Mega Volume one. These are very big lashes, but I do really like them. And I have the ones in Soft Touch as well. These are very beautiful as well, a more natural lash. And as you can see, these are half lashes. They are not originally half lashes. I'm just cutting all my lashes in half just because I prefer a half lash. And a very recent brand that I discovered for lashes, it is Huda Beauty. It is a Romanian influencer that created this brand. And these lashes are, again, very, very good quality. If you are hearing some noises, I'm sorry, they are singing outside because it is the holidays. You can't not love them. And the singing and everything about the holidays. I'm sounding like a Grinch. I don't hate Christmas, but I don't love the noise outside right now. But this is a perfect moment to say happy holidays. I hope you are enjoying your holidays. When you are seeing this, I will probably be at home with my family and hopefully eating some really good food, so I can't wait for that. And let's move into lips right now. I have two brands to mention for lip liners. One of them is Nabla. This is the close-up lip shaper, and I have here the nude number 3. This is a perfect nude. It is so beautiful. I really like it. This is very, very long lasting, and I bought 2 other shades. They very recently released some newer shades on the more pinky side because they had only nudes before, and I bought one that is a more reddish shade, and I am very excited to have that with maybe a shade like this and a more pinky lighter shade. Very excited for that. This formula is amazing. And then the other brand that I want to mention, it's NYX. So I have in here 3 different formulas. They are all from NYX. NYX is doing this all the time. They have just too many formulas of everything, but I do have this red in here. This and the nude, that it is so tiny, as you can see. They are both the basic formula. I will call it like that because this is called lip pencil. That's all. Then we have the matte lip liner, and these are the suede ones. And I have the shade Whipped Caviar. This is actually a repurchase of this exact shade. It is a pinky one. And then we have the newer formula. This is a longer lasting pencil. This is the line Loud lip pencil. And I have in here the shade Gold Crusher. This is a more creamy pencil, but it stays longer. So from these 3, I like this one the best, the newer one, and this is matching my shirt. Then for liquid lipsticks, I have 2 formulas that I like. I do like a matte lip in general, so these 2 are matte liquid lipsticks. That is that. I do have this one in the middle. This is the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte, and I have the shade Sweet Talker in here. I had previously the shade Muse, and the formula is just really, really nice, so I did buy this one pretty recently. And I have the Makeup Forever Rouge Artist, and I have the shade Toffee at All Hours. This is a more nudish color, this is a more pinky color. I just like both of them. They are pretty similar. They are both pretty matte, long-lasting liquid lipsticks. So if you don't like that, they are not for you. If you want something in a bullet form, but still very matte, I do have this one. This is the shade Runway Heat from MAC, and it is the Retro Matte Lipstick. It is a mini, but this one is so beautiful, and it is in the middle. It is a bullet lipstick, so of course it is creamier than this one, than a liquid lipstick, but it is still more matte on the lips. It looks very nice. This year I used up a lipstick from MAC, and that one was the matte formula, so not the retro matte. That one was even creamier, but it was a blast, really. But if you want something like this, but from the drugstore, I do recommend this one. This is the Maybelline Ultimate in the shade More Buff. It is a nudish pinky shade. It is very beautiful. I do really like this packaging as well, and it is a more comfortable matte lipstick. Next, let's talk about lip glosses, and this year I tested so many. I filmed 2 videos with Battle of the Juicy Lips, and it was a blast. I really love them. And I want to mention 3 formulas because they are just so beautiful. The first one is the Hangover RX from Too Faced. This is the Pillow Balm, and I have the shade Watermelon Kiss. Very beautiful, very comfortable, very hydrating. I really love this formula. My favorite one is the Sigma one, Renew Lip Oil is the name of the product, and I have the shade Tranquil in here. The shade doesn't matter that much because this is a pretty sheer formula, but this is so hydrating. I actually repurchased this one. This is my second one, and I actually purchased one of these for a friend because we are doing a Secret Santa thing, and that will be my gift. It is so good, so I can't wait for her to taste it. It is really good. And then for a true lip gloss, I need to mention the NYX This Is Milky Gloss. I have the Salted Caramel Shake one. This smells incredible, and for a normal gloss I prefer a thicker gloss, and this has some color as well, and this smells so yummy. It's so good, and this color is so beautiful. So the Nabla pencil with this one, match made in heaven. It's so beautiful. Let's move into eyes, and for liquid eyeliner I do have 2. So I have the Physicians Formula one. This is my favorite black eyeliner. It is so great. I think last year I only mentioned the Epic ink from NYX. This is amazing as well, but I do prefer the Physicians Formula one just a tiny bit. But I do have the Epic ink in the shade brown. This is very nice, and it is a very good brown color in my opinion. So these 2 are just so stunning, and in this category as well I don't need to test others because these 2 are perfection. And then for colorful eyeliners, I filmed a battle of the eyeliners as well. I really love the Nabla one. It is so great. I have the Too Faced one as well. Really nice. This one that is retractable. In general, I don't prefer retractable pencils, but this one is so nice. It is called Matte Cobalt, and it is from Sephora. It is so stunning. Then I have a purple from Maybelline. It is the tattoo liner in the shade Rich Amethyst. I actually have this one on my waterline today. It is so beautiful. The Bourjois Contour Clubbing in the shade Sea Blue Soon. Very beautiful blue as well. And the last one here, it is the Berry M High V Strobe Light is the shade, and is this very stunning green. These are so beautiful. I really like them. Let's talk about some eye brushes as well. This year I discovered Refer brushes, and I have a bunch of them in here. Very recently I placed another order with these 2 and a face brush and the lash curler, that it is very sturdy and very good quality. Some skincare items, the creams from Refer, the light hydration one is my favorite. It is so nice, so I did repurchase that one. And the eye brushes are very expensive but really good quality. Of course, I want to see in like 5 years if I still have them and if they are still intact, but for now they are just really nice. They have some very good blending brushes. And I want to mention Sigma as well, because this year I discovered that my favorite eye brush, it is the E25 from Sigma. This is my favorite brush. I think I have 4 of these or something like that. It's perfect for blending anything. If you want something to blend into the crease, this is great. If you want something to blend in here, this is great. I just really love it. And this one as well, it's very nice. It is the E42. It is a smaller blending brush and it is very good. The eyeliner brush is really nice. This is the wing liner one, the E06. It is so small and tiny and precise. It's very good. And as well, this brush, this is the 3D HD Precision brush from Sigma. This is lovely. I really like this one to blend my eyeshadow base, and I am sure that this will be amazing for concealer as well, but I prefer a sponge for that. But this is nice, and you can blend the eyeshadow primer and then you can just blend the under eye here just to clean everything. It is so nice. And naturally, the last for makeup, it is palettes. In general, I could appreciate a very colorful palette or a very neutral palette, but I prefer something in the middle, something neutral with something colorful, or a palette that is mostly colorful but it has some neutrals, something that is not full rainbow or something that is not full browns, because I like a mix. So I'm gonna just have some really nice options in here, and as well I'm gonna film after this the ranking of all palettes that I tested this year. So spoiler alert, these are like top 5 or something like that, but I'm gonna mention them in no particular order. So let's start with Natasha Denona. I purchased this year these 2 palettes. This is the pastel palette and it looks something like this. This is not my perfect pastel palette. I prefer the Lost in Los Angeles from BH, but the quality in here is just so stunning, so I do really like it. But I like the My Dream palette more, even though that one is more colorful and I kind of prefer that. This one has some colorful things in here. Mostly I see this palette as a neutral palette, but because it has these 2 rows at the end with some dramatic shadows, it has some purples and this multi-chrome that is very beautiful, and it has a black as well. This palette is very, very well made, and this is a very poppy orange. Even though it is a neutral, it is an orange. So you have some options in here. It's not a basic neutral palette, and I really like it. It is very good quality, and I love that you can pop out these shadows. You have some holes in the back, so I can always rearrange them. And this year I discovered Wooden's Eye because Angelica did a collaboration, and this is that palette. It is so beautiful. The quality is impeccable. I want to buy something else in the next year as well, but I will be waiting for a perfect color story for me because it's not that easy to order from this brand. And as you can see, my mirror is broken just because they are shipping with a postal service, and that's the reason I didn't purchase anything else from Wooden's Eye. Not because I don't want to, and not because the brand is not very interesting to me, it's just because of the postal service. So if they will ship with express shipping, I would pay for it and purchase something else from them, but I just don't like the Romanian postal service, so it is what it is. But I really like this palette. It is very good quality. You have some really beautiful greens in here, and this year I loved green eyeshadows. This year I think green was my favorite color when it comes to eyeshadows. I really like this palette. I really like Angie. Great quality. Next I want to mention the ABH Nouveau. This palette is so beautiful. Again, this is a more neutral palette, but it has some greens. It has this very interesting purple. It's very strange in here, but somehow it works. You have some dark shades in here, and even though this is a shimmer, and I would have liked for this one to be a matte, you can still use it to just add some dimension and some darkness into the outer edge. But this formula is so good. This palette is amazing. And another neutral palette with a twist, it is the Nimea palette. I didn't even put this one in a speed review. I think I have other products that I didn't put in a speed review yet, but I will film in January a giant speed review, so that will be included. But this palette, I really wanted to be in the favorites for this year just because it is a really nice formula. I really like it. I am wearing the mattes from here on my eyes, and they are really good quality. I really want to mention it just because of that. The blues in here are really interesting, and this orange is very pigmented. So it is a neutral palette, but it has some pops of colors. And this middle shade, I do have it in my inner corner, and it is very stunning. And these mattes as well, very pigmented, very good mattes. I am very happy with this palette, so I wanted to put it in here as well, even though I didn't have it for a very long time. So these are all the makeup products. I hope I didn't miss anything. I missed one thing, the lash glue, very random, but I want to mention it in here as well. My favorite lash glue, it is the Duo in the green tube. It takes around 30 seconds to get a bit sticky, and then you can apply the lashes and they will stay there. It is very, very nice. I really love that one. Now I think I am done with makeup, so let's talk about some perfumes that I discovered this year. The first one is Ariana Grande Cloud, and this smells very nice. I do have the smaller bottle. In general, I prefer buying smaller bottles because I do have a decent perfume collection. This is so yummy. This, in my opinion, is a perfect spring or summer night perfume. Of course, you can wear whatever, whenever. And I have the notes in here. Top notes, lavender, pear, and bergamot. Middle notes is whipped cream, praline, coconut, and vanilla orchid. That sounds amazing. In general, I don't love flowers, but I don't smell the lavender because I don't like lavender. And then the base notes are musk and woody notes, which I love. I love musk, and woody notes sounds amazing. I just really like these perfumes. It is very, very nice. And this packaging, even though it is a bit childish, I do really like it. It is pretty cute. Then pretty recently I bought the replica by the fireplace, and this is a perfect autumn and winter scent. It's so warm and I really love it. And sadly, this one doesn't stay on my skin that well, but the scent is perfection, and I do have the nose for this one. So cloves, pink pepper, and orange blossom for the top notes. Middle notes are chestnut, guaiac, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it is wood, and juniper. And then base notes are vanilla, Peru balsam, and cashmere, which this is a very warm and woody smell. It's so nice. I really love it. It is very, very, very nice and cozy. Then I do have two Kayali perfumes. Let me get the notes for this one. So I have the Eden Apple in here, and I have the smaller version as well, just because the bigger bottle was on a sale and I couldn't get it. It was out of stock, but I bought this one, and like I said, I prefer buying smaller bottles. If you don't love a very, very sweet perfume, but you love fruity scents, I think you will like this one. And top notes are red apple, lychee, black currant, pink grapefruit, and then middle notes are wild berries, raspberry bloom, jasmine, and May rose. And base notes are sugar, musk, vanilla, vanilla flower, mousse, and amber. I love amber, I love vanilla in perfumes, musk, incredible, sugar, again, very nice, and then wild berries, red apple, black currant. It's so yummy, delicious. And the last one in here, it is a very new one. This is Kayali Vanilla Royale, and this one, it is pretty sweet and pretty heavy in my opinion, but I love it. So top notes are rum, vanilla, orchid, and jasmine. Middle notes are vanilla, leather, spicy notes. I only reading these notes and this sounds incredible. Creme brulee, tonka bean, and rose. And then base notes are patchouli, brown sugar, oud, again sugar, amber, and musk. So in general, vanilla is a buzzword for me. Sugar, amber, musk, oud, brown sugar as well as normal sugar, creme brulee, and rum. incredible. I really like this one. So these are the 4 perfumes that I discovered this year that I really enjoy. Let's move into some scented candles if we are in the chapter of good smelling things. And this year Bath & Body Works finally opened a store here in Romania. I think 2 stores actually, and one of them is very close to me, and it is a pleasure to just go in there and purchase a candle. They are pretty expensive, but they are very good quality. I do have in here 2 that I really like that I still have. My favorite one, I think it was the pumpkin clove one. That one is very spicy, and for the autumn it was perfection. But these 2 I have right now and I really like. This one is the cinnamon sugared pecan, and this is a 3-wick candle as well. It is so nice. The name is just describing everything. It is very sweet and very nice. I really like it. And the other one that I weirdly like, because this year I discovered that I don't love vanilla candles, which is strange considering that I love vanilla in perfumes. But in perfumes in general, vanilla is just one of the scents. It's not just a vanilla perfume. And I purchased some candles that were mostly vanilla and I didn't like them. But I do have in here the cinnamon spiced vanilla. It is mainly vanilla, but then you get the spicy cinnamon part and it is very nice. And these are the candles. And lastly, let's talk a bit about hair, because I really like my hair right now, and this year I just appreciate my hair a bit more. I did struggle in previous years with my hair just because I have straight and oily hair, and it is still oily, but now I know how to deal with it. And this year was the year of testing products. I really like the Olaplex line. I want to mention it as well. The shampoo and conditioner, I just really like it. And as well, I want to mention this one. This is the Living Proof Full Dry Volume and Texture Spray. So it is a texture spray, and this one is my favorite. Of course, I do love the IGK one, the Beach Club one, and that one smells better than this one. But I can't buy it, so it is what it is. And this one, I do have this smaller bottle because I wanted to taste it, and then I wanted to repurchase it, but I couldn't find it. So I was like, really? Can I just get a texture spray that I like, and can I repurchase that? Because it was annoying. But then I went into Sephora for something else and I saw this one still in the mini format, but it was the last one, and I was just like, I'm buying that. It's mine. I don't care. So I bought it again in a smaller size. I hope I could find it in a bigger size at some point, but I really like it. And if I have some curls as well, I could just do this motion and fluff my hair, and I do have some volume. And even with my straight hair, I still am able to add some volume. So I do really like this one. It is really nice. And I want to mention as well some hairbands, because this year I discovered hairbands in general. Not that I didn't know about them, but I bought some and I really like them. They are really great. And again, if I have my hair pretty oily, I could just add one of these hairbands and just add some volume in here, just get some hairs from here, and like I said, just add some volume. I think this is everything. I hope I didn't miss something, but yeah, I am very happy with my makeup collection and my hair stuff, and yeah, I am very excited for 2023. I already have a bunch of ideas for videos. Right now I am searching for the time to film all of them, because I do have like 10 ideas and I want to film them now. I'm gonna film some of them hopefully in between Christmas and New Year's, and yeah. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, please subscribe and give it a like, and I'll see you next time.